Okay.
We're back.
This is Off Trail.
Yeah.
Off Trail with Luke and Chandler. I'm Luke.
I'm Chandler.
And we're Off Trail. Man, what a great intro that is.
I love that.
It's honestly, it's like awkward.
It's super awkward.
But it's fitting for
is.
this show. It just
Yeah.
sets the vibe.
It does, yeah.
Sets the tone. So,
There are no rules here.
no,
So,
there are no rules, but we try to follow them.
yeah.
So this episode, I think it'd be good, and because we got a question about this too, is to talk about the beginnings of Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
Like, let's go back to day one.
Day one.
You know, Bushwhackers was established in 2020.
Yep. July 28th, I think.
Well, we don't have to be that specific, but
Well, I'm a date guy, so.
well, so Bushwhackers was established back then.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about what it was back then, because I mean, I don't know what. I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
But I know that what it is today is far from what it was back then.
It's not even close to the same thing.
So let's go back then. Take me
Yeah.
through the beginning of Bushwhackers.
So, let's set the picture. It's 2020. COVID is, we're in the middle of the COVID thing.
Oh, that was a great time.
Love that time.
I thrived.
You did. I did too. I'm kind of an introvert, so like,
Yeah, I was
honestly,
I was an indoor cat back then.
yeah, that was great. Work from home. It's like I'll do that.
I wasn't working.
Well, you don't work right now, so
Yeah, I get paid.
yeah, that's what matters. No, so we were 2020. COVID was happening. Me and some friends were going out on a bunch of hikes and stuff, and we had done one hike in particular where we went up to Big Baldy, which is on the front face of Mount Timpanogos. And this was one of the dumbest things I've probably ever done on a hike. But we hiked up to the top of the mountain, and it was like for sunset. Like, we got up there, sunset was happening. We were like, this is awesome. But then we didn't really want to do the trail back down, because if you've ever been up there, the trail like goes back down the backside of the mountain. Excuse me. And then it drops down into Battle Creek Canyon and back down the parking lot. So we were like, well, maybe there's a trail that goes off the front side of the mountain and we can just straight shot down to the bottom. And we found a little trail, like what ended up being like a little deer trail. And we followed it, and then we just got into some bushes, and then we were in these bushes trying to get back to our car for the next 4 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, so it like doubled the time of our hike, and crawling through scrub oak, falling down the mountain. Like, it was, I don't know if you've ever seen the front side of that mountain, but like it's steep. It's not an easy little climb. It's a mountain. Yeah, that was a miserable night. But we were making jokes all along the way about, we would say it in our worst Australian accents about how we were out there bushwhacking. And we were just being funny. We just thought we were so freaking funny. And just making jokes, because we thought that the name Bushwhackers was ridiculous. It's a kind of a silly name.
Especially when you say it in an Australian accent like Johnny.
Like Johnny, yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny's my favorite Australian.
He is. He's a cool Australian.
He's super cool Australian. Do you think he's from Melbourne?
I'm not sure.
No, it's we'll have to ask. It's Melbourne, right?
I'm not totally sure.
I don't know. We'll ask him. We'll get him on the show and ask him. Anyway, so we were crawling through scrub oak and stuff for hours, and we got back to our car, and we were all banged up. The whole time we were making jokes about how we were bushwhacking and stuff, and we had gone on a couple other hikes before and after that, and we were making jokes about being bushwhackers and stuff like that. And eventually, we had some pictures that we had gotten on our phones that we thought were like, oh, this was pretty cool. And I posted some to my personal Instagram page, which was just like a private Instagram page at the time. I didn't ever post on it. It was just for like family stuff, whatever. I'd post Mother's Day post on it and stuff like that.
That's cute.
Yeah, I like my mom. Shout out to Mama Bushwhacker.
All Mama Bushwhackers.
All Mama Bushwhackers.
They're the
deserve a
best.
Shout out. Anyways, but I posted a couple photos on there, and then somebody had made a comment about like, oh, these are really cool. And I eventually just decided, I was sitting there thinking about it one day. I was bored because COVID, working from home, didn't really know what I was doing. And I didn't like my job at the time. And I was doing human resources and just desk work.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm just going to make an Instagram page. And we'll just turn it into like a hiking page because we go on all these ridiculous hikes. And we like to go to all these crazy places up in the Wasatch, and so let's just make an Instagram page out of it. We called it the Bushwhackers. Made a silly little logo that I drew.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It was silly.
It was silly. And yeah, it was just like a hiking page for me and my friends. Like we would go on hikes. We would all take little phone pictures of where we went and stuff. And then we would just post it to the Bushwhacker page. And eventually it started growing and, it got a couple hundred followers and, 500, 600 followers. Eventually got to 1,000 followers. And then I, along the way, had been seeing all these other people who were doing stuff with, their own outdoors hike, adventures and whatnot, and photography and things like that. And that kind of started to stir a lot of ideas with what this maybe could be, because it was always kind of an anonymous thing. Like people didn't really know who was running it. I tried to keep my name off of everything. So I was like, I want this to be like its own thing. I don't want my name attached to it. And I just kind of ran it almost in secret for a while. And eventually had all these ideas of like, well, we could turn this into some kind of a community thing. It already kind of is a community thing. It's me and my friends and we're going out and doing these cool hikes and then we're sharing it on social media. It's kind of cool. And it's like, well, we could do this community thing, try to grow that. And we can also turn it into a photo thing. And then we can turn it into like, we're doing work for companies. And then we could sell our own merch. And then we can run like tours, off-roading tours.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
And then it went through a period of time where I kind of left the page alone. I had started my own personal Instagram page and was doing I was really heavy into the photo stuff. And then I just kind of let Bushwhackers kind of sit for a little bit. And I was like, I can't do this by myself. But I need help doing this. And then we met. And now a year
that day
later.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
For the worse.
That was, yeah.
No, but it is interesting, I think it's neat that it actually didn't really start as a pure photography thing.
Mm-mm.
It was more an outdoorsy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the photo, dare I say, professional photo aspect of it was added at a later point.
Yeah.
Because when you started, you actually were not,
I knew
knowledgeable about photography.
Yeah, I knew nothing about photography.
Like you said, it was just phone pics.
Yeah.
Which, admittedly are the best cameras out there.
Mm-hmm.
But that got added along the way.
Yeah.
And, obviously this year at least, we just keep adding more and more.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure for you is super cool.
It's honestly, like, it's weird. Like, I think back to, playing with that Instagram account, sitting back in my room. I was at my parents' house at the time. And sitting in my room and, coming up with ideas for Bushwhacker merch and stuff like that and logos and things. And, like, this is a cool little hiking page. I remember reaching, like, 100 followers. And I was like, oh, my gosh, like, this is super cool. And, yeah, now it's this huge... It's so much bigger than like it ever was supposed to be. So, like I said, it started off as a joke. So,
well, it's still a joke.
You're a joke.
Yeah, it's tough because I wanted to say your mom's a joke, but she's not.
No, my mom's not a joke.
I wouldn't do that.
I was going to say your mom's a joke.
I wouldn't do that to Tracy.
I wouldn't do that to your mom either. So,
no, it's definitely a super neat thing, and even for me, like obviously it came in, I don't know, halfway is the right word, but this year we just kicked it off.
Yeah.
And it exploded.
It did, yeah.
And maybe faster than you or I thought it would. And
yeah, I don't think we intended. We didn't intend on getting into like the podcast and video stuff this year.
No.
There's a lot of stuff that we didn't intend to get to this year. This year was supposed to be very slow, building a foundation. Year one was never supposed to be like really a big year. That was always like year 3
It
or
was
4
like, let's
will be
just
that year.
build the brand name up.
Yeah,
And then eventually we got to the point where like, okay, we could do this.
yeah,
And here we are. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun. Like this is now what like, yeah, I guess it's like still part of the podcast itself, but
Mhm.
it's like a separate wing of it,
Yeah.
on top of trying to do a vlog, the educational stuff. I mean, it's like another little part of,
yeah,
media stuff that we've added to what we do.
yeah, yeah,
And it's definitely a crazy feeling. I mean, I think it's cool to be like, yeah, we have a podcast.
Yeah.
We have people on, friends.
Yeah.
They come in from out of town. It's like it's a cool thing, and I think the whole idea about Bushwhackers is just a fantastic idea.
yeah,
Because the idea of trying to like build a community, a real community, in our hometown, at least here, and obviously, hopefully, we can expand that in a very real way elsewhere.
yeah,
But to have a community here now in Salt Lake of everyone that we know is a lot of fun.
yeah. It's really, really neat. So,
I mean, it's just, we've talked a little bit about it before. I think on the first episode of Bush Talk, we mentioned like, if we don't want to do something alone anymore, we probably will not have to.
no,
Minus my trip to Arches.
yeah.
But
Well, that's because nobody likes you.
oh, there's that. But we have so many people here that we've gotten in touch with, and it's a really special thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can put a group together, 5 to 10 people, almost on a whim.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of fun, and it builds some relationships that are going to last a long time.
mm-hmm.
Like for instance, like our friend Brandon is going to be having a kid soon,
yeah,
and like, not that we're going to be like the Bushwhacker parents, but
Yeah.
like, but because Brandon is part of our Bushwhacker family,
yeah.
like,
Because part of the crew. Yeah,
yeah, like, like when he has a kid, like that's starts to become even like a bigger deal for us too.
mm-hmm.
And that's a cool thing, like, about what we do.
yeah,
Like, we really do care about a lot of the people that we get to do stuff with.
Yeah.
And, our lives start to kind of come together in a way, and they're not running separately
Mhm.
forever. And it's a cool thing.
yeah. It's really, really neat. So, it's a lot of cool people out there, and I mean, I never would have met any of these people, if it weren't for starting that joke of an Instagram page.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it's still a joke. But all jokes aside, did you ever, I mean, you talked about it, but did you ever imagine we'd be selling merch? Like the merch that we actually have.
No, definitely not. So this was never like
I mean, we have some good stuff.
we do.
Not to pump our own stuff,
but kind of too.
but it's like legitimately good merch.
Yeah.
Like the products are solid.
Yeah,
Like the Squatch tee, so soft.
yeah. The
It's
hoodie's
great.
my favorite hoodie I own. I think.
Seriously.
So
the Squatch hoodie's great.
yeah, or the Bushwhacker, the OG Bushwhacker hat.
Yeah. I mean, we like the main hat that I have on
Mm-hmm.
now, we don't sell it for a couple reasons, but like I love this hat.
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It fits great.
The logo's great.
The logo's good. I mean, it's great. The camper hat,
Yeah,
like that's a great hat. People love that hat.
yeah. That's our best-selling
Item.
product. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool to have
yeah.
stuff.
And it's
that-
just it's fun. Like the merch was never, and it's still not. It's not supposed to be like our main thing.
No.
It's just like a thing we just. It's fun, to have shirts and hoodies and hats
it's
and
just
things.
another way to connect everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've talked about this before, but like, you see guys like Kai where they go to Alaska and they wear their hat all the time. They just talk about how much they love the hat and stuff, and it catches or you had an experience in Arches this weekend with a gentleman, and he was asking about what's this
Yeah.
Bushwhacker thing, and
Yeah, he was.
So-
He saw the Squatch hoodie in my hat, and he was like, "Hey, what's this Bushwhackers thing you're pushing so hard?" And so I gave him the spiel. And
Yeah.
he thought it was super cool.
yeah,
And that's awesome. Shout out to my man Dix from
Yeah.
PNW, like Oregon. That was a fun conversation. It was a really cool experience to have, just to chat with someone I literally just met,
Yeah.
in the middle of a national park,
Yeah.
about what we do, and he thought it was cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's super, super cool.
Yeah.
We kind of get the same reaction with like the flag too. People see us walking around with that flag and they're like, "What in the world are these guys doing?"
I'm getting that same reaction from this peppermint bark right
Ooh,
now.
I need to break into mine.
Well, thank you, Bryce, for the peppermint bark.
Yeah, appreciate that.
But no, you're right. The flag also has its own appeal in a way, or
Yeah.
I don't know, like lore. I don't know what the word is,
Yeah.
but I remember when we were on a trip, once in St. George, another time somewhere else in southern Utah. We get the flag out, or but we had rolled up, right?
Mm-hmm.
People can tell it's a flag though, or they had seen us waving it around, but we had just taken it down, so they didn't get to read it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "What's on your flag?"
Yeah.
And we unroll it, and they see, and they're like, "What is Bushwhackers?" And it's like, "Well, let me tell you." It's a cool way to bring it up,
Yeah.
and start that conversation. And a lot of people are like, "Well, it's kind of neat." When you tell them about what it is that we do, it's a cool thing. And for them, a lot of times they're like, "I think I would love to go out with you guys." And it's like, whenever you want, let us know.
Just let us know. Yeah. We're not, right now, Bushwhackers is pretty photo specific. Pretty much everybody, for the most part, in our group is, photographers. But it's not we don't want it to be limited to photographers. Right now it is, just because, that's where we've started. We're all photographers. But, it's supposed to be just, an outdoors thing, It started out as a hiking page. It turned into a photo thing, but, the core of it has always been an outdoors.
Yeah. Does anyone want to go rappelling? Because
I do. Yeah.
We know guys who can take us.
Yeah.
Taylor Dalton, I'm looking at you.
TD cameraman.
But,
TD rappel man.
But it's a cool thing. So here's a question for you.
Hit me.
Of all the stuff we have, the different logos, what logo is your favorite? We got the original that's on the flag back there. We got the Happy Camper logo. We got the Beehive Circle logo.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one I'm forgetting.
Squatch.
And Squatch.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's your favorite?
That's a really good question. It's like picking your children.
It is.
Which,
It's kinda hard.
Yeah, which kid you like the most. Not that I have kids, but these are my kids. Probably the Squatch one. And mainly because I've wanted to do a Squatch logo with Bushwhackers for, since the inception of Bushwhackers. It's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've wanted to have some kind of a bush or a Squatch character involved with Bushwhackers for years. So that one's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I think so. I don't wear that camper hat,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably because I don't know. I just don't feel like it looks good on me. Maybe I don't know what
Just
it
the
is.
style of
but
the hat,
yeah,
but-
it's not my style, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, you don't have a very
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it's of all the ones that I wear, I think Squatch is my favorite.
yeah.
I think it looks good on the shirt and the hoodie.
Mhm.
I think it's just a fun thing. I
Yeah.
actually had a comment when I was in Arches. I didn't acknowledge the person because I think I was maybe in conversation with Travis. Excuse me, but someone walking by me and said Sasquatch, and I was in my head I'm yeah, that's
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
I had a comment actually one time, pretty recently on my Squatch. I think it was the hoodie. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah, but I think my favorite logo, and it's more so because I think there's just the funniest story around it, is the camper hat.
the camper hat's great.
I mean, that smiley face is dope,
It's great. Yeah.
and I, because it's our best selling item too.
Mhm.
People love it, and it does look good on the hat. But I think the fact that I made that logo in quite literally 5 seconds
yeah. If that.
is the funniest part.
Yeah.
Like we're working on a hat design with Mihaela, and she wanted a smiley face, and it was like, okay, I'll figure something out here, and it clicked. I'm like a happy camper hat, and it worked
I think because
out.
we were sitting up in the office talking about it and trying to figure something out. I walked downstairs to, I don't know, grab like a drink or something, probably to fill up on pink juice.
Yeah, and then I had it done.
Yeah, I walked back upstairs and he's like, I got it. What?
Yeah, like you put it on like on the hat preview, and it's like, oh, that actually looks good.
Yeah, it looked really good.
But yeah, like I literally I made it a circle. I put 2 lines on it with the brush tool. I just drew a little smiley, like a mouth on it, and it was like, that's it.
That's it. Solid.
And it's our best selling item.
Yeah. I do want to say too about the Squatch logo. So the logo itself was drawn and designed by my sister. So I asked my sister does a lot of, she's a really good artist and stuff, and I asked her if she would come up with a Squatch logo for us. So nobody's seen it yet, but there's a colorized version of that logo, and
It would be a great sticker.
it'd be an awesome sticker. It's that logo, like the colorized version, is so good. We just use the black and white version right now just for,
A little easier for printing.
it's just
on
easier for printing and stuff.
clothes and everything.
But no, the colorized version is super cool, and we're looking to for a purpose for it, I guess, or a way to use it. It's just we take things pretty slow with Bushwhackers, so
Yeah,
it's just
we do it right.
yeah, we'll get to it. But so I think that's another reason why the Squatch logo is maybe my favorite. It's a little bit of a family project.
Yeah, it's not nepotism or anything.
Yeah.
So I think, we're talking about Bushwhackers. We have a community that we have, and I think it'd be really fun to end the episode for everyone listening at home. You and me, each name one photographer to shout out that we think is really cool. Now, I'm also going to say this. I told you before we did this, it should be someone here in Salt Lake, and I'm going to break that rule because I realize who I want to actually shout out. But I'm going to let you go first. Who would you like to shout out? Who do people need to go check out on Instagram?
There's so many.
And if we don't choose you, it's not personal.
It's not personal.
It's
There's
just
so
business.
many. There's so many.
It's just business, but business is always personal.
It's really because everybody else besides this person sucks. So.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh gosh. Oh, dude, I don't know. You just made it because I was prepped for like the Utah one. But
Yeah,
now I'm like,
I
ooh.
open the doors. I understand that.
Yeah.
And if you want to choose someone here, that's great. I'll choose someone elsewhere. And to be fair, my person is moving to Salt Lake soon. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who that is.
Yeah, I don't think you know who this is, bro.
Huh? I'm so focused on thinking like,
Yeah.
who are you gonna pick?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I mean, I'm gonna say, why'd you do this to me, man?
Hey, it's part of the game, bro.
I know.
You got to play.
There's a lot of people though. I might say Benji.
Okay.
Benji's great.
Benji Thorne.
He's awesome.
Instagram handle is Benji the Trekker.
Benji the Trekker. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
He's awesome. I love Benji. He has a lovely sounding voice. And he's also as tall as a tree.
Some trees.
Some trees. He's
basically a redwood in human form.
Yeah, that sounds like Sam Elliott.
That's a redwood in human form that sounds like Sam Elliott. If you can imagine what that would look like and sound like, that's Benji.
That's Benji. And then he's a real bushwhacker. Like,
Oh, yeah,
like
he
that
is.
dude he's a real adventurer.
Oh yeah.
That dude, like he'll look like he chases storms and stuff around, southern Utah, and
He's been waiting for that snow in Zion.
yeah, he has. He's always posting it. He's like, it's gonna snow in Zion, and
He goes caving,
yeah.
and he's 6'7",
Yeah.
which I don't know how you do that.
I don't know how he fits.
I mean,
Yeah.
the day that I met Benji, we were going down southern Utah. We got to our campsite, and we had never met him before. Didn't know what he looked like. We just chatted with him on Instagram. And he pulls up, gets out of his car, and it's just like he just keeps getting taller and taller and taller and taller. And I'm like, dude, how tall are he's 6'7",
Yeah.
and he sleeps, or he's at least then he slept in that car, and it was not a
It
big
was a
car.
Subaru.
Yeah,
Like at a Subaru, maybe it's an Outback.
yes, it's not a big
No,
car.
yeah.
It's not a car that someone who is 6'7" should even be driving,
Definitely not.
much less sleeping in.
I sat in the car with him back in October when he was up here. We went and shot some fall color stuff, and I had gotten in his car. I had parked at like one end of the mountain we were on, and I had to. I don't want to hike up the hill. It was like late at night and whatever. And yeah, we get down to this tiny little Subaru, and I felt like I was crammed in there.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'9". Like I'm not.
Bro, you tiny.
Yeah, I'm a little guy. But I don't know how he fits. But no, Benji's awesome. Benji's one of my favorites.
Benji's awesome. He's a great photographer.
Great photographer.
He was telling me about. I don't want to spoil it in case he hasn't talked about it publicly, so I won't go there.
Okay.
Sorry, Benji, for almost spoiling a really cool thing you've told me about. But no, he's a great dude, and
Yeah, he's got some cool opportunities.
he's a good
coming up and
choice.
stuff
Good
too,
choice.
so.
I mean, he like you said, he's a real bushwhacker.
Yeah.
So
At Benji the Trekker.
yep, go
So-
follow him. He's definitely one of our favorite guys to get
Mm-hmm.
out with, and he's always someone's like, hey, we're going down south. See what Benji's doing.
Yeah. 'Cause he's always doing something.
Yeah, and
so.
he's usually down to join. So
Yep.
okay,
All right, let's
my-
hear yours.
My pick. So, to be fair, I don't know if you've seen his stuff. Well, I have shared a little bit of it, so you might have. I would bet you haven't talked to him. And his name, I have him pulled up here because I didn't know what his handle was off the top of my head. His name is Ashton Jones. Okay.
I'm gonna look him up right now.
Yeah, I want you to look him up right now. Okay. His handle is XC Jones _media. Okay.
Well,
let's
he
get-
follows me.
Okay. So
So-
there you go. But he's a wildlife photographer.
I'm following him right now.
He's a wildlife photographer. And I got to tell you, I love his stuff.
Dude.
The recent one, the one he did maybe today of the moose, incredible.
Yeah. That's
Like-
phenomenal.
He's good.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like that's
and he's
really good.
moving here.
The bear.
Yeah, he's moving here. I'm telling you right now, Ashton, if you're listening, you're taking me out on a wildlife trip.
Me too. I want to come.
No, me first,
Wow.
Ashton. but he's legit, and I can't wait to meet him.
That's insane. Maybe you did mention him to me because I think you'd mentioned that there was, or maybe it's somebody else, that there was somebody in Montana who does really cool wildlife stuff.
Probably him.
I think you may have mentioned him to me.
Yep, probably
So-
him. But
I mean, he follows me, and I'm a jerk, and I don't follow him. So,
yeah, well,
but
no,
I do now. But
he's the one I want to shout out because I think it's cool that he does a style of photography, or maybe whatever the category of it, that
Genre
that we don't really do,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And it's something that, while I don't necessarily have the perfect gear to try with, I don't have a good long lens like that. I would love to go on a trip and see what that experience is like.
yeah.
You know, I don't know how close he got to this moose he recently posted, or like that bear,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd love to see that in person.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
So Ashton, just so you know, we at Bushwhackers are pumped
Yeah.
that you are moving here.
Yeah, I'm stoked now.
Yeah.
And I just found out about it 4 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So-
So can't wait for you to get here, bro. It's gonna be great. So,
Yeah.
well, I think with that,
Should we wrap this up?
let's wrap it up.
'Kay.
Say goodbye. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video,
Yep.
and if you're feeling it, hit that notification bell.
Yeah.
That way, when we post a video, you get notified. You
You'll
can go see
know
it
about it.
right away, and you can share it with all your friends.
Yep.
I think that was a little better outro than last time.
I think it was too. Yeah, we're
A
getting.
little smooth.
I think we're figuring out what we're
I
doing
was
here.
feeling
so.
it that time. I just
Yeah, I
went
felt
right
it
through
too.
it.
It was like it hit me. Like I hit the notification bell just in my head from that.
Yeah, you just ruined it.